Hi, what are you doing?
Oh, nothing.
I wanted to ask you, do you remember when me and Sunny were attacked by my old friend?
Of course I remember. What is the question?
I want to know, what did you feel that day when I called you telling you what happened?
I don't want to talk about it. That's a very bad day for me.
But like, what was your feelings? Like, what was your first thought when I told you?
What was my first thought when you told me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I thought. My heart was racing. And then when I saw what happened, that just broke my heart in pieces.
Oh.
And then I couldn't sleep for weeks at a time. I just would know that waking up in the middle of the night thinking that something could have happened to Sunny. And
Hi, my name is Kim. Um, I'm making this video to discuss an attack that took place on myself and on my 3-month-old daughter at the time. Um, she's 1 now, but at the time she was 3 months. On January 7th, 2019, me and her were attacked in the middle of the street by 6 people while I was walking with her in my arms. I'm not making this video to demonize anyone or to judge or criticize or this video isn't about anger. It's really just about acceptance. And I've learned that it truly helps to talk about trauma that's happened to you versus just keeping it inside. Very few people know what happened to me and my daughter, my mom, my daughter's father, my best friends. Like, some people know, but few, I can count them on my hand how many people know. So, I really kept this to myself, and I feel like it's not doing anything to keep it private. I rather spread awareness, and I rather people know what happened to me and how I almost lost my daughter when she was only 3 months. So during this video, I'm gonna discuss everything that happened prior, everything that happened day of, and everything that happened after. Some of the details are really tedious, and a lot of the ending is really sad. It's kind of hard to hear, but I hope everyone watches it completely, because every single thing that I speak about is completely important. Each and every detail matter. I'm not sure why this happened to us. Only thing I do know is what happened prior. So when I was pregnant, there's two main people on these stories, but I won't be using their real name just because this video is not to expose anyone. It's simply to speak my truth. I'll be calling the male in the video Luke, and the female in the story, I don't know why I'm saying male and female. The man, I'll be calling him Luke, and the woman in the story, I'll be calling her Jenny. So while I was pregnant, Luke was one of my old friends. We stopped talking because of juvenile disagreements, and it wasn't any hard feelings. We just stopped hanging out, kind of one of those friendships that just fade. When I was pregnant, Luke hit me up, and he congratulated me. I was really happy because, it just feels good to hear from people that you used to love and care about and still love. So I was really happy when I first spoke to him. We didn't speak much right after that, but after I gave birth, he contacted me and we started hanging out. So that was fine. Uh, it was great. He came out for my birthday, and overall he was just a great friend to me, even to the point that I wanted to make him my daughter's godfather, just because I liked many qualities of like who he was, and He was really family oriented in my eyes, and I just like that. And I know that he would actually be in her life. He wouldn't just do it for the title. He would have actually been in her life. That's what I felt at the time. One day Luke calls me over and he tells me that he needs a favor. He needs to send money to one of his relatives, but he doesn't have a card and he only has cash. He asks if I can send it and he'll give me the cash. I'm like, yeah, of course. I go to his house. When I went to his house, I was already with my friend Jenni. And Jenni didn't really want to go, but I didn't make her, but I was like, please, just come with me. I don't want to take the ride up there alone. And she was like, okay, fine, I'll go with you. So she ended up coming with me, and when we were there, nothing really happened. I sent the money from him. He paid me back. We hung out for a little bit, but nothing much went on. I think we ate, but that was about it. Everyone went their separate ways. We all went home. A few weeks later, Luke calls me and he tells me that something really bad happened to him, and I'm like, oh my god, what? Tell me. He's like, oh, I really don't want to talk about it. So in my mind, I was just like assuming that maybe it was like girl related or something along those lines. So I was like, okay, yeah, that makes you feel better. I have like my own drama going on now too, so you're not alone. And he was just like, yeah, just talk to me about something, like one of your issues, and we were just speaking. Now I'm gonna go to the night of December 23rd, the day before Christmas Eve. Me, my daughter's godmother, and two of my other friends, we went out, and while we were out, Luke contacted me and told me that he wanted to hang out with me and my friend, and I was like, yeah, sure. Me and Luke had hung out like 2 Christmases ago, so I felt like it was like mini reunions. We like had stopped being friends, and now we're back together. Not like that, but you know, like back together friends wise. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'm down. When we got to Luke's house, I actually want to pause it. Sorry, I had to turn off the volume on my television. So back to the storyline. Luke, when we got to his house, he was acting pretty strange. He was acting pretty grumpy and aggressive, and I don't know, just not like his normal self. But I just tried to like let it go. It was like technically Christmas Eve, so I was just like, whatever. And I was pretty drunk that day, and I'm not like really a big drinker, so I didn't really like, I'm the type of person, like if I drink, I'm like super happy. I'm not like in a bad mood, so I was like really happy, and I'm just like, whatever, like, okay, I'm just trying to laugh, make jokes, regular, like my same regular self. Luke then presents information to me that caught me completely off guard. He started saying that a bunch of things were stolen from his house and that he believes it was Jenni. Rewind, Jenni was my friend who came with me to his house the day he needed the favor. So my initial reaction is, one, I feel kind of set up in a way and manipulated, because you asked me to hang out under false pretenses. You really wanted me to come here for you to, in a way, interrogate me. So I didn't really like that. But, you know, I still heard him out because he's my friend, and I was just like, okay, talk to me, like, tell me what you feel. And he was telling me that he feels like it was Jenni. He feels like no one knows really where he lives, and now that I bring her over, this happens to him. And, you know, I really 100% don't feel like Jenni would have done that at the time. So I was like, she would never do that. Like, just talk to her. Like, let's just like discuss this. Like, you shouldn't feel like it was her. He's like really angry. Like, no, it was her. It was her. It was her. He's like screaming super loud. He was like, it was her. If you're her friend, I'm not gonna talk to you. And if you tell her, I'm not gonna trust you. So now you're putting me in an awkward position, because now you're expecting me to stop talking to one of my really close friends, someone who came to see my daughter in the hospital when she was born, someone that came to my baby shower, helped clean up after, someone who babysits my daughter when I need her to. She was a big part of my life, can't stop talking to someone I care about that much off speculation. If you have a camera showing her go into your home, okay. Or if you have any type of evidence, present me with it and I'll believe you. But I can't stop talking to someone off speculation. People don't throw people in jail just because they think they did something. You have to have proof. And that's how I felt. I'm a very fair person, and I like to actually know the truth before jumping to conclusions. So now let's fast forward to New Year's. New Year's comes. I usually spent a lot of holidays with Jenni, so it wasn't rare that we were together on New Year's. I went to her house with my sister and my sister's boyfriend. Her daughter was there, her mom was there, everyone was there. It was like a family event. It was fun. I posted on social media that I was with Jenni, and Luke saw it. Luke ends up writing to me a few sarcastic comments like, oh, I can't believe you're with her, or things like that. At the moment, I didn't really take it serious because it's a new year. I had like my daughter, the person I love, was with me. It was just like, I felt like my life was so perfect that I didn't want to fall into the drama, especially drag it into the new year, you know? I want to be a better person. I feel like every mom wants to be a better person. Well, that's just how I feel. And because my mom is an amazing mom, and I can only hope to be half as good as her. So he made those comments. I let it slide. I was like, okay. You know, I tried to keep in contact with him, but I could tell he was weary of me. It was understandable. Like, I can understand. So that's why I didn't really put too much pressure on the friendship or on him or the situation, period. Now we're gonna go to January 4th. On January 4th, Jenni calls me and she tells me that one of her close friends were verbally assaulted or threatened some type of way verbally. And I was like, oh my god, that sounds horrible. Like, what? Who would do that? And she was like, I have no idea, but I honestly feel like it was Luke. And obviously my initial reaction is gonna be, no, Luke would not do that. Like, that's the first thing that came out of my mouth. And quickly she got defensive and she was like, oh, you're defending him, why are you defending him? I was like, it's not about defending anyone. I'm literally giving you my honest opinion on what I think. You're saying that you think he did X, Y, and Z, and I'm telling you, from what I know of this person, they would never do what you're accusing them of. So now I'm basically in the same situation with her that I am with Luke. She's accusing Luke of something, Luke's accusing her of something. It was a real horrible situation for me to be in, and at the time I didn't even think it was that serious. I was just like, what are they gonna do for my daughter's birthday? Like, are they gonna fight each other at the party? Like, that's what my mind was. And my daughter was only 3 months. Like, I didn't know it was gonna escalate the way it did. Like, I didn't know it was that serious. So I ended up calling Luke, and I kind of just tried to intervene and just dilute the situation a little bit. So I speak to him and I'm like, hey Luke, Jenni thinks that you did this to one of her friends. You know, was it you? He was like, no, it wasn't me. And I'm like, okay, I have to be honest with you. I confronted Jenni and I asked her if she stole items from your house, and she denied it. She said it wasn't her. But I need you to know that I did ask her, and now that something happened to someone she cares about, she feels like it was you that made this take place. And he was just like, oh, I can't trust you. Why would you tell her? And I just feel like, isn't that a natural reaction for you? Like, if someone accused one of your close friends of doing something disgusting or horrible, wouldn't you feel like that person has the right to know, to at least clear their name or to at least speak their part? That's what I feel is fair. He didn't view it that way, and I can understand because everyone feels differently about certain things, but that was not how I saw the situation. Now Jenni was also mad at me, I guess, because she was saying that I was on Luke's side, that I wasn't on her side, that it sounded like I was defending him. And I'm like, I'm not defending anyone, I'm just saying what I feel. At this point, I feel like I was getting attacked on both ends for something that had nothing to do with me. So I called a mutual friend and I asked for their advice, and they told me to just separate myself from the situation. They're like, you're better than things like this. You have a daughter, you have a good life. Don't entertain this. Like, it's just not a good situation for you to be in, and you don't need to be in it because it's not your business. So when she told me that, I really like reflected on it, and I realized that I really had no business dealing with any of this. It was just childish, negative, and not the way I want to live my life. I'm sorry. So I started to just step back mentally, step back from the situation, and I decided I was no longer going to speak to either of them. But not like on a like, oh, I hate you, I'm never talking to you again. On a simple, just like, I wanted us to just be distant again. I wanted me and Luke to be distant again, and I wanted me and Jenni to just be distant, because she was just another one that was coming off really aggressive now, and I don't like being told what to do, one, and two, I don't like people, I just don't like people that are always angry or want to make the worst of situations. I feel like when there's a problem, let's come to a solution to figure it out. I don't want to make a situation worse, and they wanted to make the situations worse. I couldn't respect that, and I also couldn't deal with that as a new mom. On January 7th, Jenni asked me to hang out. She wanted to go into the city because she knew I wanted to go shopping the week before all this like started. So like around the 2nd, or probably on New Year's, I told her I want to go shopping sometime this week, and she was like, okay, let's go. On the 7th, she contacted me, and she was like, oh, do you want to go to the city and go shopping? And I'm like, yeah, you know, let's go. She's like, oh, you still lost your card, right? I was like, yeah, I haven't got it back. So I was just gonna use cash for everything, and I also was gonna take her to dinner to a place that she like one of her favorite restaurants, just because, one, I wanted to talk to her about everything that was going on. I wanted to express to her how I am on her side, but that I also need to just separate myself from all this, because it's just not what I want to consume my mind and body with. And I just wanted to speak to her like woman to woman, and you know, I just wanted her to have clarity, and I wanted to have clarity because I felt like our friendship meant something to her. It obviously did not, so I was wasting my time, but okay, so that happened. So Jenni comes over. She was taking really long to come over, and my daughter ended up coming back home. I texted Jenni. I'm like, hey, I can't go anymore because Sunny's here. Let's just reschedule. She's like, no, I'm already on my way. I'm downstairs. And the whole time I was texting her, asking her where she was at, where was she, and she wasn't answering, and I found like that was really strange. But I was like, okay, whatever. As soon as Jenni entered my house, my daughter started screaming, kept crying. It literally gives me chills thinking about it, because she felt the vibe, she felt the energy like off the back that I couldn't even realize. My daughter was screaming, and she knows Jenni, so this was odd for her to act like that. So I was like, oh, I was sitting there like really uneasy because I didn't know what was wrong with my daughter, and I wanted to go shopping and I wanted to go eat. So I was like, you know what, let's just go. And she's like, oh, you sure? I'm like, yeah, let's go. So she's like, okay, you take Sunny, I'll take the stroller downstairs, let's go. I'm like, okay, cool. When we're walking over there, Sunny's still screaming the whole entire time. She's like losing her mind, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what's wrong with her. She usually loves being outside. She would like stop crying instantly once you take her outside. She wouldn't stop crying. So I was like, this is so weird. So I was walking like kind of fast with her just because I wanted to like give her a sense of motion. As I was walking, like this is like the street and this was the sidewalk. As soon as I stepped onto the sidewalk, I was facing this direction and Jenni was behind me. I hear Jenni call my name. She's like, oh, Kim, wait. And I turned around, I looked at her, I saw that she was okay, and I continued walking. When I started walking, as soon as I turned back around, I was like instantly surrounded by 6 people, and they proceeded to push me down to the ground with my daughter in my hands, only 3 months, super tiny, she was only 11 pounds, pushed me down to the ground and just like assault us. They were kicking us, and my daughter was like under me, like her legs were here, so I was covering her legs and I was covering her head with my arms. I was basically just on top of her without putting my weight because I didn't want to like suffocate her. So I was on top of her, holding her, but I was getting kicked all along my sides, so I could feel that she was also getting kicked. So I was like trying to put my hands on her sides because I didn't want her ribs to break or anything. So I was trying to put my hands on her side while protecting her head. It finally dawned on me that I felt like I couldn't keep her safe in the situation and that I had to find a way up. I turned around and I was like, cause I can feel a lot of people around us like trying to stop it. I turned around and I reached to like tell someone to please grab my daughter out of my hands. Jenny was standing there and she grabs my daughter, so I'm like, okay, cool. They continued to assault me, and they were humongous, and I was just like, whatever. I was just worried about Sunny. When it was a bunch of people came and stopped it, as soon as I got up, I like ran to my daughter, and I was just like making sure she was okay. My heart was like so broken. It was like literally beating out of my chest. I didn't care what happened to me. I was like, that means nothing to me. I want to make sure that my daughter is okay. So it was freezing outside, so I didn't want to take off her jacket, but she was crying. And literally there were so many cars that stopped and got out of their cars, literally at a red light, didn't park or anything, and ran towards me and were trying to help me. And they were like all surrounding the baby. Everyone was calling the police. Everyone was like, it was like a million people talking to me. I was just like, where's my friend? That's what I asked. I thought something happened to her. I initially thought that something happened to my friend. I was asking everyone, I'm like, where is she? Like, they're like, the girl that had the baby? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, that she took my daughter and just slammed her into a stroller and ran into a car. I'm like, she wouldn't do that. And they're like, are you sure that's your friend? You know, everyone felt so bad for me. And I'm like, I'm positive she wouldn't do that. And they were like, everyone was calling the police, asking me a million questions. Like, I was literally getting dizzy from so many people surrounding me. I have social anxiety, so it was extremely hard to deal with this moment. This man and this woman and then this other man and woman, all of them walked me home. They carried my stroller and my daughter. Well, I was holding my daughter, I wasn't letting her go, but you know, they walked us to my building, walked me upstairs, asking if I want them to stay with me until anyone comes, and I was like, no, it's fine, thank you so much, I appreciate it. And I truly did. If any of you that helped me by chance see this video, I want to let you know that you're the reason why my daughter is alive, and you're the reason why she's safe. If it wasn't for the people who intervened, I don't know where she would be today, and I'm so grateful for you. And if you see this, I hope some way, somehow, you find this video and you watch it and you remember me, the girl with the baby who was attacked. And I want to tell you thank you for your help. You were amazing, and God will bless you a million times just for doing that one good deed. So when I get back upstairs, I instantly called Jenny. I just wanted to make sure she was okay, and I noticed that I was blocked. I texted her, wouldn't go through. I would call, wouldn't go through. I check on her Instagram, and I'm blocked. And I'm like, wow, she really did this to me? But why? Like, what did I do to you? Like, I'm so confused. Like, was it like, I don't know if it was over my personal possessions that were taken, like my money and bag and everything else I had, because that was also taken. I don't know if it was because of that, or because of the Luke situation, or because I was distancing myself. I have no idea really, because everything that I do know, I've just told you guys. So if you could come up with a conclusion that is better than what I know, which is nothing, that would actually be awesome. But I've told you everything I know and everything that happened. Jenny then calls me and she continues to threaten me and tells me that that's what I deserved, and that happened to me because I was playing both sides. And now it's just like, like what? Like, what are you talking about? Are you 12? Like, this is so weird. You attack someone, your best friend, and her 3-month-old baby that you consider your niece because you felt like I was playing both sides. I'm a mother. There's no sides. My daughter and her father and my family are my only sides that I pick. This was not even important to me. So you dragged me and my innocent daughter in this situation because of just allegations that you made up about me in your mind. It really just hurts my feelings to this day because what happened to me and what happened to Sunny wasn't by strangers. It was by people that I loved and people that I thought loved Sunny. I've never spoke to either one of them again. I took Sunny to the hospital and she was okay. She had some bruises and some cuts, but she was fine. And you know, I reported what happened, and I told them that they assaulted my daughter. It was like, I told them whatever. Everything I told you, I told them. And you know, they were just, everyone at the hospital was just so happy that my daughter was okay, and I was happy that she was okay. My mom, I called my mom too after everything, and I told my mom what happened, and she was just like hysterical. As soon as I told her, she was crying so much. It broke my heart all over again. And you know, it was just a really tough situation to go through, but I got through it. And I would literally have nightmares every night that my daughter would get hurt or pass away, and it was so traumatizing. I don't fear anyone. I'm not scared of anyone in this world, but when it comes to losing my daughter, that's my biggest fear. And that almost happened to me over nothing, over absolutely nothing. I didn't do anything. And sorry, there's a fly in my room. And it was just really sick, and I'm really happy I got this story off my chest. And I just wanted to tell people that you have to be cautious of who you allow around your daughter. If you're trying to start a new life, that means you have to cut off everything from your old life. Anything that is toxic, anything that is negative, you need to cut it off, especially when you are a parent. When you want to be better, you have to become better in every single aspect. And yeah, I never let hate consume me. I never let it drag me down. I never was angry about it. I forgive everyone that was involved in this situation because of you. I learned to appreciate life so much more, and God has blessed me 1,000,000 times more. I swear each day He does something new and great for me. So I have no choice but to be happy and to appreciate my life. My daughter is alive. I'm alive. We're healthy, and most of all, we are happy and we are at peace. And if I ever hurt anyone or made them feel any sadness or anger, I hope that you can forgive me, because I know those are terrible feelings to feel. But in life, we need to learn not to take our anger out physically, and most of all, never on children. Children are innocent. They don't deserve to ever be put in situations where they can get hurt or die. So I hope this video helps someone out there, and if you have any questions or if you need any advice for a situation similar that you're going through, please just message me. I'm here. If anyone has any questions, just comment below, and I'll answer them. If there's anything I missed, just ask me. I'll answer them.